I'm excited to share with you a project that we're undertaking. It's called Zig, the documentary. This documentary is going to take the best of Dad's life, the fact that he impacted 250 million people during his career, their personal life, family life, and business life in a way that changed them and changed their whole family tree, their kids and their grandkids. And I want to tell you a story about why this is so important. I remember when I was first working here at the company and I was young, I didn't know what life was about, what I was really doing. And I was the guy at the back of one of these huge seminars, 20,000 people in the room. And I was the guy selling the product. You remember that? The books, the CDs, the tapes, the cassettes at the back table. And Dad was going to speak that day, but he was a surprise guest. So because of that, we had the table covered with a tablecloth. And as they opened the doors, a man walked in. He looked over at our table and he's like, "Wow, look at that." Well, one of the tablecloths had gotten folded up and he could see a picture of Dad, and he looked at me and he said, "Is Zig Ziglar going to speak here today?" I could just see the enthusiasm in his smile and his voice. And I said, "Yes, but don't tell anybody. It's a secret." And then he asked the second question, "Is he going to be able to sign autographs when he's done?" And I said, "You bet, right down at the end of the table, but he's not going to finish until 1 o'clock in the morning. That's like 6 or 7 hours from now. Why don't you go on and sit down and come up later? Nobody even knows he's here." The man looked at me and he said, "Well, if it's okay with you, I'll just go ahead and stand in line now." Well, that struck me because his smile of humbleness and gratitude meant that something profound had happened, but still, I was kind of skeptical. Remember, I'm young. I don't really know what business we're in yet. And I waited, and after an hour, he was still there. So I went down to hear his story. I said, "Why are you still in line?" He said, "It's real simple." He said, "Several years ago, I immigrated to the United States from Central America, and I moved in with my brother-in-law. And after a while, I knew I was going to have to learn English. And so I asked my brother-in-law, 'How do I learn English?' And he said, 'Here, take this.' And he gave me this book. This book was see at the top. And he said, 'Translate this into English, and you'll learn English, and it will change your life at the same time.'" Now this man's countenance totally changed. Tears were in his eyes. And he said, "Tom, your dad's book saved my marriage. You see, I wasn't treating my wife well, and I had an alcohol problem. And now, financially, we're doing great. Our marriage has never been stronger, and I don't drink anymore. I owe everything to your dad and his message." And I tell that story because maybe you're watching this video and you're in the same position. Maybe Dad, maybe Zig Ziglar, a speech he gave or a book or a CD impacted you and it turned your life around. Or maybe, just maybe, you're one of the fortunate ones where you gave some of his material, some of Dad's materials to somebody, and it changed their life as well. Well, Zig, the documentary, that's what it's about. We want to take the essence of Dad's story and give it to generations to come, and we want your help. We would love for you to help us. Just imagine if you could, in essence, give this story to somebody, maybe a grandchild or a great-grandchild, or maybe somebody you don't even know picks up this documentary in the future, and you had a hand in that. How are we doing this? It's simple. We're raising funds for the documentary through a Kickstarter campaign. We're looking for 1,000 friends to join us, to each give $250 so that we can take Dad's life, put it into a life-changing documentary, and continue the legacy. I sure hope you join us. Click for more details and watch the additional videos that we have. When you do, I know you'll be excited, and I know that you can help us carry on the Zig Ziglar legacy.